Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a really interesting look at someone you probably know for comedy, Jim Carrey.
Hmm.
But we're not focusing on the funny roles. We're looking at his personal philosophy. Some really profound stuff he shared in a speech that went viral.
That's right. And the source material, it's mainly excerpts from a YouTube video, actually. It's called Jim Carrey's Speech. No one wants to hear one of the most eye-opening speeches.
Wow, quite a title.
Yeah, and it gives this pretty unique view into how he thinks about life, identity, happiness, the big questions.
So our mission really for this deep dive is to unpack all that. We want to get into Carrey's idea of the true self, how he deals with fame, which must be immense,
Oh, absolutely.
and his very unique take on depression, plus lessons from his family, especially his dad.
Right. The goal is to pull out those key takeaways, the things that maybe make you, the listener, think a bit differently, challenge some assumptions.
Exactly. Powerful perspectives. Okay, let's get into it. First up, authenticity.
Yeah, this idea of the authentic self.
Carrey makes this pretty bold claim, right? That he's basically the same guy, famous or not. He says he dropped the whole trying to be something for somebody a long time ago.
Which is huge considering his level of fame.
Totally. He talks about being able to say no when I mean no,
Mm.
and not having that pressing responsibility to please everyone. That feels like a real kind of freedom.
It really does, and it connects to how he prefers actual interaction over, say, selfies. He'd rather ask someone, who are you and what are you doing today?
Right. Instead of the selfie, which he says, stop the world.
Yeah, and gives people this false sense of relevance. It's a critique, really, of valuing the image over the real connection, that performance aspect of modern life.
Mm-hmm. And that connects, interestingly, to maybe his most, radical idea, his definition of depression.
Oh, yeah, this is fascinating. He separates sadness from depression quite sharply.
He does. He says sadness is just, from happenstance,
Yeah.
like things happening. But depression,
The depression is your body saying, I don't want to be this character anymore. That's the core of it.
it reframes it completely, doesn't it? Not just like a mood, but a need for, what does he call it? Deep rest.
Deep rest from the character that you've been trying to play. So it's almost like an existential signal. Your body rejecting a false self you've constructed.
It makes you think, is it just brain chemistry or is it this deeper disconnect he's talking about?
Exactly. And then he links this back to his acting. He says, I act because I'm broken in a lot of pieces.
That's quite a vulnerable thing to say.
It is. And acting gives me a chance to reconfigure those pieces into 1,000 different things that are positive for people to watch. So acting is an escape. It's integration, healing, maybe.
Using the art to put the pieces back together in a constructive way. Wow. Okay, so this search for self, it often goes back to family, right?
Yeah.
And for him, his father was huge.
Absolutely central. Percy Carey, he describes him as the most incredible character, someone who just, filled the house with stories and jokes.
He said his dad lit up the room, and that watching him made him realize, that's the thing I want to do. You can see the direct line there.
You really can. But it's not just the inspiration. It's also a cautionary tale that taught him a massive lesson.
Ah, right. The dad could have been a comedian himself.
Yeah. Carey says he could have been a great comedian but didn't believe that that was possible for him. So instead, he played it safe.
Made the conservative choice, got the safe job as an accountant, wasn't it?
That's the one. But then, the twist. When Jim was 12, his dad got laid off from that quote-unquote safe job.
Oof, that must have been tough.
Devastating, I imagine. But it led Jim to this incredible insight. You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
Wow, that hits hard. Fail at the safe thing anyway, so why not risk it for the thing you actually care about?
Precisely. It's a powerful argument against letting fear dictate your choices, especially fear disguised as being practical.
And you can see that that performer instinct was there super early on with him, that story about being 7.
Oh, the stairs.
Throwing himself down the stairs, then asking to check the replay and doing it again in slow motion.
Just pure playfulness. That innate desire to perform, to explore, it was clearly wired in from the start.
So you have this playful heart, this desire, but then as you get older,
Fear enters the chat.
exactly, fear. Carrey is very direct about this. He says, fear is going to be a player in your life, but you get to decide how much.
It's about agency, isn't it? Acknowledging fear is there, but choosing its role.
Yeah, and he boils it down to this fundamental choice we make constantly. All there will ever be is what's happening here and the decisions we make in this moment, which are based in either love or fear.
Love or fear, it's stark, but maybe powerfully simple, cuts through the noise.
It does, and he points out how easily we trick ourselves. This fear disguises practicality.
Ah, yes, that's a big one.
He says so many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it.
We rationalize settling, basically, because the dream feels too big, too unrealistic. We limit ourselves before we even start.
Right. And he talks about his own moment like this, didn't he, at age 28?
Yeah, a real turning point. He had been a pro comedian for a decade, achieving success, but he realized something was missing.
What was it?
He felt his purpose was like his dad's, to free people from concern, but he looked inward and thought, the only one I hadn't freed was myself.
Wow. So the external success wasn't translating internally.
Not fully. And that realization kicked off a deeper search for identity. He started asking those tough questions.
Like, who am I really?
Mm.
Without my fame, he asks. Or what if he said things people didn't like?
Yeah, if I defied their expectations of me, challenging that need for approval.
And he suggests true peace isn't in fame or approval, it's deeper, beyond personality, beyond the perception of others, even beyond effort itself.
It's pointing towards something really fundamental, almost spiritual, letting go of the constructed self entirely.
Which leads to his advice to let the armor go.
Exactly, because that need for acceptance, he warns, can make you invisible in this world. You hide your true self to fit in.
So instead, he says, what was it? Risk being seen.
Risk being seen in all of your glory. It's an invitation to vulnerability, to authenticity, even if it feels risky.
Okay, so you let the armor go, you risk being seen.
Mm-hmm.
Then what? How do you navigate from there?
Well, he has this really empowering message about your job. He says, your job is not to figure out how it's going to happen for you, which is a relief, honestly.
Right, takes the pressure off.
But to open the door in your head, and when the door opens in real life, just walk through it.
To be ready and open, essentially.
Yeah.
Trust the process.
And don't sweat missing an opportunity. He adds, don't worry if you miss your cue, because there's always doors open and they keep opening. It's about abundance, not scarcity, constant flow.
That's a much more relaxed way to approach things.
Definitely. And related to that is his conscious choice to see things as happening for him, not to him.
Ah, that perspective shift. Dealing with challenges constructively.
Exactly. It's about framing. How can this challenge serve me or teach me, rather than just seeing it as an obstacle?
And he brings it back to depression again, connecting it to that character idea.
Yeah.
People are depressed because you're trying to be something for the world.
Yeah, like the Wizard of Oz, he says, hiding behind the curtain and putting on a show.
And his solution is just let it go.
Basically, as soon as you let that go, better things happen. Again, it's about dropping the facade.
But he's not saying ignore sadness.
No, not at all. He sees sadness as more like transient, like weather. The weather that flies by in the sky, he puts it. It passes. It's not you.
Okay, that distinction is important. And this all culminated in a huge realization for him, didn't it? About thought itself.
Oh, yeah, the big aha moment. Waking up one day and just getting it, understanding how thought was just an illusory thing.
Illusory, meaning not real.
More like not inherently solid or true, just mental events. And realizing how thought is responsible for, if not all, most of the suffering we experience.
So it's our attachment to thoughts, our belief in them, that causes the pain.
That's the idea. Very much aligns with mindfulness teachings. It's not about stopping thought, but becoming aware that you're thinking, creating distance.
And that awareness brought him freedom.
Yeah, freedom from myself, from my problems, he says, by seeing the thoughts without being completely swept away by them.
That's profound. And he kind of illustrates the opposite, the trap of chasing external things, with that funny bit about the Golden Globes, right?
Yeah, the satirical inner monologue, this terrible search for what I know ultimately won't fulfill me.
Like, if I just get one more award, then I'll finally be true. Then I can stop this.
It perfectly captures that hamster wheel of seeking validation outside yourself, knowing deep down it's never really enough. A brilliant, funny, and kind of sad illustration of the trap.
Absolutely. Okay, wow. We've covered a lot of ground here, pulling insights from this really quite unique speech by Jim Carrey.
We really have. From authenticity to fear, family lessons, the nature of thought itself.
So if we try to, pull these threads together, what are the core messages? I mean, authenticity seems huge.
Definitely. Living true to yourself, dropping the act. And that lesson from his dad, daring to go for what you love, because even the safe path isn't guaranteed.
Right, and that constant choice we face.
Yeah.
Love or fear. Choosing love, choosing expansion over fear and contraction.
And finally, that powerful, potentially life-changing realization about thought, seeing thoughts as events, not necessarily reality, and freeing yourself from the suffering they can cause.
Yeah. These ideas, they really push you, don't they? They encourage this shift away from looking outside for approval or answers.
Exactly. It's a nudge towards finding peace and purpose internally, looking inward for your value, for your direction, not relying on what others think or what society expects.
So maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to carry with you, something that really boils down to Carrey's core message from this speech. You will only ever have two choices, love or fear.
Yeah.
Choose love and don't ever let fear turn you against your playful heart.
Please click like and then subscribe. Also share this video with your friends. Thank you.